Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's time for another Felissimo subscription. I did get this a while ago. I've just been so swamped. That's awful. I've been so swamped I can't even open my own subscription. I opened it and I got my swatch card ready and I just didn't have time. So this is, oh my gosh, is this box 10? It's either 9, 10, or 11. But this is home. So 281 to 300. And then I always like to read the poem. It says, just like a children's nursery rhyme, my home flows with family and time. The delicious aroma of Sunday meals are enjoyed together in our daily lives. So it's got some cute little names. This was something interesting though. I have yet to see this on my others. You know, they do include the swatch chart. I don't use it, but it had like a translation of the saying that's right here. So this one says, have a good dream, but the color's goodnight kiss. I haven't seen that on the other ones. And then the rest are still just in Japanese. So I don't know if that was like a misprint or what, but found that interesting. And then the picture is like a bowls of soup and bread, which I guess is homey. So here are the pencils. As always, you know, same shape. They didn't change. Wouldn't that suck? You're like halfway through and they change the shape on you and you're like, no! So yeah, just looking at them off the bat, my lighting is not very good today. It's kind of semi-overcast, but they look like they'll be kind of neutral. I do see some really pretty olivey green barrels. I don't know if the actual color will be that. And then I have already made my swatch chart. I am not sharpening them this time. I just want to see if they feel any different not sharpened. Now technically, and I say technically because it depends on the manufacturer, technically you should sharpen them, you know, to get any residue off. Now, some manufacturers pre-sharpen them and they're ready to use. Now, that's kind of a weird gray area because some manufacturers will say ready to use, but the pencil really isn't. You should sharpen it and get the residue off. Others don't, and you know, so it's like, well, which ones are, which ones aren't? You should technically always sharpen them. However, this go around, I'm just not going to because, well, I don't feel like it. And it's not going to affect it that much because I'm just swatching it, not coloring with it. So I figured, plus that'll keep me from breaking any tips on these pencils that are very expensive and, you know, more of a collection than anything else. All right, so let's get down a little closer. All right. So, are we not in order? Normally the pencils come in order. But I guess we're not coming in order this time. 289. Well, that's interesting. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to... I wonder if they're starting at the top. Yeah, okay, so they're starting at the top and coming down. That's odd. Normally they go that way, I swear. Could be losing my mind. It's been a long weekend. Alright, Goodnight Kiss. So this is kind of like a blue-gray ish color. Wow, these are really weird using the manufacturer nib that they give you because it's all blunted. But since I'm heavy-handed and we know I tend to break these things when I sharpen them. Alright, so these are definitely back to being creamy. Gosh, we use that word so much in this industry. Creamy. Everything is creamy. Luscious lawn. When I say creamy, I just mean soft. But do not confuse me saying creamy for it must be like a Prismacolor. I have noticed a lot of people use that, what's the word, adjective, in assumption with Prisma. Prisma is creamy, indeed, very creamy. But other brands can be creamy and not be a Prisma. Now, if I say it's like a Prisma, then that's where I'm saying it's like a Prisma. Pesto Presto. Ooh. So I wonder if this is going to be more like a basil color. But yeah, Felissimos gosh, I've really struggled to give people like an accurate softness description. Like when I try to think, they do remind me a lot of the square Brute Fooners in terms of softness. But they're wax and they're not oil. So, I mean, you do have to keep that in mind. The Brutes are oil. Country Shingle. But yeah, I mean, they kind of have a similar softness to the square Brute Fooners. Now, I've had a lot of people, since, you know, I did that 520 Brute Fooners, I've had a lot of people ask for me to compare these to that. There is no comparison. So the 520 Brute Fooners are an oil-based pencil. These 500 Felissimos are wax-based, and they're two totally different things. They're not the same company at all. So that's something to keep in mind. Brute Fooner is done in China, whereas these are from Japan. Like, they have no relationship whatsoever. But I know there's a confusion out there that they're similar, and they're not. There's just no reason to really compare them. These are better quality than those 520 Brute Fooners. Carrot Cake. This is an odd color for carrot cake. Just side thought. So yeah, there's no real comparison there. I mean, these have themed sets, and the Brute Fooners come in just 2 boxes of 260. Now, they both have similar colors. Like, as you guys have seen me swatch along in my journey, I've said, hey, these colors are kind of alike. I mean, what do you expect with 500 pencils, you know? See, Beach House Sand. But, I mean, it's 2 different companies, 2 different bases. One's wax, one's oil. And there's just really not a comparison because this is a subscription. You can only get these via subscription. And the whole fun of it is it's really a nostalgia collector's thing. I mean, granted, the 520 is definitely a collector's thing too. Humble Habitat. That said, you can buy them in smaller sets to replace them, whereas these you can't get out of your subscription unless you order the open stock via email. But you can't just go buy the home set that I have here. So there's really no reason to compare them. They're just too different. Way too many factors that are different. So I won't be comparing those. But I would definitely say these are a better quality pencil than those Brute Fooners. But that's just me. The 520 Brute Fooners, like I said, is the most ridiculous thing I've ever purchased. So, they'll probably go on display. Cradle Careful. I wonder what that originally said. That's an interesting translation. So yeah, these are pretty neutral. But yeah, these are softer, and they're like the square Brute Fooners, but also those square Brute Fooners are not the same as the round ones that I bought in the 520 set either. I noticed there's some confusion about that too. That's the problem with all those white label budget pencils. They all start meshing together after a while. Ooh, look at this row. The colors in this row are really pretty. Zoom you out. It's actually a really pretty array to look at. It's just a load of greens, that's for sure. Some blue greens up in here, but just, it was really pretty to look at. Prettier than the top row, I guess we can say. All right, anyway, back down so you guys can see the swatch. Let's see. Wrong side. All sorts of discombobulated today. Cobblestone Memories. Sometimes these translations crack me up. So, like, what's a cobblestone memory? Like, do you get memories about cobblestones? I just picture, like, cobblestone driveways and walkways and don't really have memories associated with that. But so that's why sometimes I giggle at these names. I swear, Felissimo has the best names. Mom's Recipe. Plus, it's fun to see, like, the name they come up with, because the name always matches the theme, you know, and the theme for this month is home. So it's fun to see that, but then like see what the color is. Like, okay, so mom's recipe is like a brown color. This brownish color. It would actually make a really good skin tone. Marigold Magic. Now see, this is like a green. But when I picture marigolds, I picture yellow and orange. But this is nowhere near that. Maybe that's why it's magic, because it's a green marigold. It's like a really pretty olivey color though. All right, nursery rhymes. So see, why is nursery rhymes like this bright yellow color? Yellow green, I should say. Chartreuse, that's the color I'm trying to say. Ow. I need to like put up a word of the day calendar here in my art desk. I have one at my actual desk, which by the way is still on February. Well used. But broccoli mash. Not gonna lie, that doesn't sound appealing. But yeah, the colors and names they come up with. Now, if you mashed broccoli, I would think it would be a little darker, but I guess it could be this color too. I'm just trying to think back when I used to make my kids baby food. That's a pretty green though, like very pretty greens in this one. That's what I was saying, this is very neutral rocking chair. This would be good for landscapes, for sure, with all these browns and greens and whatnot. Loads of greens in this one. This is a really pretty sage color. Not sure why it's called a rocking chair. But still, it's a very pretty color. These would all blend really nicely. All right, now this one, Cucumber Crisp. This is a brighter green. You know, they're not too far off with their beryl and lead colors. Now, when you actually put it down on paper, obviously you'll see a difference, but like when you're looking at the beryl itself and the lead, they're really not too far off. Kudos there. Of course, this is why you should always still swatch. Now, granted, you can usually get a good idea from a lead, but example, see how much more vibrant the lead is than when it comes down on paper. But you can get a general idea. And then if you were to compare the beryl to the swatch, it's not too far off. Oops. All right, now these two look very alike in lead. So this one is Plantation Shutter. Now one thing that does kind of, I've been noticing, you know, each set is meant to be colored on its own. Like, you know, so I should be able to take this home set and color a page with just this home set if I wanted. But the kicker is sometimes the colors are awfully close to one another. I feel like with the 500 colors, yes, you're going to get colors that are close, but I feel they should have spread those out into other sets. Summer Quilt, instead of putting colors that are close to one another in the same set. Because I've gotten quite a few now, set-wise, and I would have definitely, I mean, I've seen opportunities to split some of these up. And in fact, Happy Winter, I think, is the only one where well, maybe Bliss also, where they weren't a ton alike. Since then, like, especially since my first one, I've noticed I have some that are similar. This is more of a blue, or a gray green, and this is more of a gray blue or blue gray. Bungalow Brilliant. But they look a lot alike at first glance. Okay. That's a real earthy color too. Very earthy. Let's zoom out now. Okay. So yeah, I mean, didn't take too long to swatch all those. These colors aren't too bad. Like I said, when I opened it, I could tell they were going to be very neutral, and they definitely are. And At least with this set, none are looking exactly the same. Whereas I've had others, I had to actually swatch bigger on other pieces of paper to tell the difference. But tons of greens. I mean, holy moly, green central here. And then we've got a lot of neutral colors and brown. That's definitely a gray. This kind of reminds me of a French gray down here. And then, yeah, I mean, you can use these to do a page for sure. I really should start doing that. Lovely Emma from Emma Colors 2020, she's been getting these too, and she colors with her sets on camera. And bless her for taking that challenge. I'm just like, I'll swatch. But yeah, I mean, these could be used together. Like this Cucumber Crisp would go really good with Luscious Lawn. Wow, try saying that 5 times fast. This Pesto Presto and all these olivey greens over here would be great. These two here, like I said, that's more of a blue-gray, whereas that's a green-gray. So all these could be used. I know these probably look similar on camera because I'm looking at them on my camera here. They're not. This one's definitely a lot lighter and has more of a pinkish vibe to it. But yeah, so it's not a bad set at all. Honestly, I can't wait to get all 500 and then swatch them all out in color family order, which I need to start getting on that chart because I'm either on, I think this is box 10. I always remember once I go and fill out the thumbnail, but you'd think I just look before I did this, but yeah, if I'm at 10, that means I have like 200 pencils. I mean, I'm almost halfway there. So that's what's crazy to think about is when you have all these pencils, but when they come in these little sets, you're just like, oh, that's all I got. But in reality, you have a lot and it adds up pretty quickly. Even once you get 5, you're at 100 pencils already. So, and the order they've been coming in is not numerical order. I've kind of been bouncing up and down and all around because I know I have some 400 somewhere in there. And high 300s. So it's kind of interesting the order they come in, but I have colored a page, you know, using an array of my Felissimos already, and I need to do that more. I am using my Bliss set this month. You'll see it in my B is for September as part of the Alphabet Coloring Challenge. Now, do I have to wait till H to use these? Of course not. Or F for Felissimo. I guess the month of F, these will get used a lot. But no, I do need to use these more. It's just I'm kind of waiting till I get them all so that I can pick between it, you know? But yeah, it's not too bad. This one's a very neutral set, which is way better than last month's neon brightness madness that like killed my eyes. And that set, to be honest with you, a lot of those colors I'll never use because I don't use neons. So yeah, this set was kind of like, it's kind of funny to get this after that neon brightness where you drop down to like, it goes super bright and then drop down to like ultra neutral. So I don't know if they did that on purpose, but it was kind of a nice break for the eyes. But yeah, guys, that is what I have for the home set, and we're already into September. I should actually be getting my shipment for September here in just a couple weeks, and I'll try and swatch it when I actually get it instead of waiting so long. But pretty set of colors. I actually really dig this set, to be honest. I know they're very neutral and blah, but I mean, I just picture doing some sort of very pretty landscape with these colors, especially all those greens. And they have olivey greens, which are my favorite green of all time. I always tend to go towards the olivey ones. I don't know why. Never in my life would I wear the color, but I want to color with it, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so that is the home set, guys. And until next time, take care.